Everyone has probably heard of the Tao, but wait, am I talking about the 14th century book on Chinese philosophy or the Dow Jones Industrial Average? The Dow, as it is otherwise known, is a stock market index used to measure the performance of 30 of the largest companies listed on the market exchange in the United States. The index is the second oldest out of all of the US market indices, coming after only the Dow Jones Transportation Average. First created on May 26, 1896, the Dow was created by and named after Charles Dow, who was then editor of the Wall Street Journal and co-founder of the Dow Jones Company. It was also named after his business partner, Edward Jones. The Dow was once primarily made out of heavy industrial companies, but it has since evolved. The Dow, as we commonly know it, is an offshoot of the original Dow Jones Industrial Average. Charles Dow innovatively created the new index to recognize the rise of industrial companies over railroads, also symbolizing a more remarkable shift in the United States and American culture. Utah became the 45th U.S. state, essentially ending the frontier era. Fannie Farmer published her first cookbook. The X-ray machine was exhibited for the first time. The first women's basketball game took place. The first modern Olympics took place as well, and Henry Ford developed his first vehicle. Charles Dow created the first stock average in 1884 made out of 9 railroads, which appeared on the Customer's Afternoon Letter. The Customer's Afternoon Letter would eventually grow to become today's Wall Street Journal. The Dow Jones Transportation Average would only have one of the original 12 that would come to define the Dow Jones Initial Index. None of the original 12 companies are part of today's index. They include the American Cotton Oil Company, the American Sugar Refining Company, the Distilling and Cattle Feeding Company, the Lead Gas Company, the United States Rubber Company, and Aerospace Systems. All of these sound foreign to us today because we know them now as Hellman and Best Foods, Domino Sugar, Millennium Chemicals, Spire Inc., Uniroyal, and Collins Aerospace. Charles Dow first added up each company's stock price and then divided them by the total number of companies. In 1916, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was updated to include 20 stocks. By 1928, it was expanded to 30 stocks, which continues to be the rule today. The Dow divisor has since been used to counteract structural changes such as stock splits. Although COVID-19 has slowed down the life of the average American, the Dow continued a strong run until it fell to its worst quarter since 1987. Falling by 23%, many economists and investors were in anticipation to see what would happen next. No one would have expected the Dow to break the 30,000 mark for the first time in its history on November 24, 2020. To be included among the list, a company must not only be large, but it must also own a substantial share of the American economy. To invest directly in the Dow, you can't actually invest directly in the Dow. You can do so indirectly. You have to buy an index fund, as there is no way to do so purely because the Dow exists for measurement purposes. This can be done either through a mutual fund or an exchange-traded fund, primarily the SPDR Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is an ETF, otherwise known by the stock ticket DIA. Either of the two holds the same stock as the index to somewhat of the same exact proportions, with slight differences in leverage and short strategies to echo price movements. Although the Dow is a useful tool, some people challenge the efficacy of the Dow, citing the S&P 500 index and the Russell 300 index as being more accurate. The Dow also receives some criticism for being price weighed. That means that higher price stocks have more influence on the overall calculation of the Dow over lower price stocks. It also doesn't take into consideration the size of the industry or market capitalization. As of March 2020, Apple and United Health Group were the highest priced stocks on the average compared to Pfizer and the Dow itself, which were among the lowest.